let's see. Where do we start today? It was a big week, brother. Had like a super big week. A lot of things happened this week. The world has been moved and shaken in so many different directions because of what's been going on. I don't know if I want to start negative. What has happened positive over the week? Let me think. Hmm.
It's Inslee week.
Yay. Okay, it's Inslee week. One time for everybody who is connected to the Inslee High School. Inslee closed its doors in 2006, right?
Yes.
So okay.
2006.
So now there is no place to go to, but where was I think the main festivity? Where would the picnic be? Inslee Park, right?
Inslee Park.
So keeping it Inslee. If I didn't go to Inslee, everybody, where you went? Yeah, not Inslee, but I'm going to go to some of the festivities. And what else happened this week, or what happened last week that was positive? Ooh. I don't know. Like that's so crazy. For the positive that happened over the week, I don't know. I went and got some yard signs for Harris Walls.
Okay, there you go. You got some motivation. We got some motivation.
They gave me a big old button. You know, I love buttons and pins, so they gave me a button. I will rock that.
You see it now?
Yeah, I see it. I see it. So yeah, I do. What else happened? Yeah, I mean, that was about it. I'm ready to go out of town.
It's time for a vacation.
That's what's wrong with me. I'm just over it.
Yes, it's time for it.
So yeah. Anything positive happened for you this week? I mean, we woke up. Hallelujah.
I mean, we're here. We had good church. So
yeah, okay.
That's a good start to the week.
Okay. So the last week we're gonna count it all joy. Can't really list the things, but be grateful. Just an attitude of gratitude. Every moment that you're alive is a great time. I will say that there were some losses, some huge losses, and I think that kind of overshadowed some of the positivity that I could pour. We lost Rich Homie Quan this past week unexpectedly.
Very.
You know, to I mean, just very unexpected and crazy. Like to hear that. And also in the month, well, end of last month, this month, Beat King, another rap artist, producer, passed away. I didn't hear what that was about. It's just so shocking when you hear it, and then automatically you go to overdose or murder. So in both of these situations, we've heard overdose. Right. And then Fat Man Scoop passed away.
Fat Man Scoop.
Like on stage, doing what he loves. So his was an overdose. I hadn't heard, but it appeared to have been a cardiac issue. So just being mindful of protecting yourself, taking care of yourself. And then later on in the show, we'll loop around and talk about substance use disorder and how that is impacting so many people, like with these overdoses, fentanyl, fake pills, all of that. We're going to talk about that too, tie it all together. Brother Hatten, I think our other guest is at the door. Let me see if I can work some magic from here. All right. So let's talk about some things that are going to be coming up this week. And that is why Mr. Roy has joined us, Roy Williams. And it's been 22 years since 9/11, 2001.
Yeah. And this Wednesday will make 23.
23 years. Yeah. So tell us about, so first of all, I remember September 11th and where I was and what I was doing. And it was one of those things also that felt like something that was unbelievable. Yeah. It really felt unbelievable. And I bet for you, the disbelief that all the rest of us were in is probably something just totally different. So tell us your 9/11 story.
Well, unfortunately, my 9/11 story is I lost my oldest brother, Army Major Dwayne Williams, in the Pentagon. That morning started out like a normal, regular day. I was working as a reporter at the Birmingham News. Just got my 2-year-old daughter dressed up and ready to take her to preschool. Mm-hmm. And then saw the first plane hit the World Trade Center tower. And I was thinking it was a horrible accident. When the second one hit, we knew that we were under a terrorist attack. And I said, oh boy, Dwayne's about to have to go to war again. My oldest brother, Dwayne Williams, had led he commanded a field of troops in battle during the Persian Gulf War in the early 90s. And then when I got to work, I got a call from my mother that the Pentagon had been struck. And I told her, no, you're wrong. It's World Trade Center Towers. As soon as I got off the phone with her, I looked up and saw the Pentagon was on fire. Called my brother's cell, could not reach him. Called his house, could not reach him. And then, unfortunately, that evening, I found out that Dwayne was among the missing.
Like, even to this moment, still my condolences, because I can only imagine, the mindset, the horror, and the angst that you feel watching these things continuing to unfold, knowing that you have a loved one there.
Yeah, for me, I mean, Dwayne was the best man at my wedding. Dwayne was 40. I was 36 at the time. My identical twin could not come to my wedding because he lives in Europe. He lived in Europe, and Dwayne stepped in, no problem. He was best man at my wedding. I could lean on him for advice on marriage. I could lean on him for advice for raising my children. My last conversation with Dwayne was 2 days before 9/11, in which I told him that my wife and I were expecting a son.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
we were making plans to go visit him that summer, and he was going to give us a tour of the Pentagon. When he got the assignment to the Pentagon, I was so excited because I knew it was going to allow him to accomplish his dream of becoming a general.
Wow. You got a chance to tell him that you were expecting a son.
Yes.
And I know off air you were sharing with us that was something that you didn't think was possible.
Well, look, my wife and I had infertility for 7 years. And when we found out that we would have another child, we were so excited. And he knew how I wanted to have a boy, because my first child, I wanted a daughter.
Yeah.
Because I know my daughter's 25, and she's still daddy's little girl to me, but she's about to become a doctor. Shout out to Naja.
All right, Naja.
She's going to be a veterinarian.
Okay.
And Royce is now 22, and I wanted to have a son to be able to nurture and groom. And I'll get to what's happening this weekend by explaining to you that for 22 years, I did not look forward to 9/11, but now for the first time, I'm excited because we are going to take the day back.
Awesome. I want to, the process to taking the day back, what that feels like. You said you never look forward to it. I don't know that anybody does, but for you to have lost someone in those attacks, what type of closure do you get from such a situation?
Well, it's one of those situations. My wife and I will be celebrating our 33rd wedding anniversary on September 14th.
Congratulations.
And she knows I get into a dark place every year around this time, and for 22 years, we really haven't been able to celebrate our wedding because I am always, 9/11 is 3 days before our anniversary. 2 years ago, on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, we went on a trip. It was my first step to taking the day back. We left on purposely on September 11th. We went to the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Punta Cana. We had a great vacation, but even there, I couldn't escape it. I would tell people, hey, I'm not supposed to be thinking about Dwayne, but
that's your brother, so you are.
I mean, I could not help it. I kept on bringing up Dwayne, and I feel like I cheated my wife on the anniversary a little bit because I still couldn't escape it as much as I tried.
So one thing that I hear in that, and Jonathan, you can help me with this as well. Yeah. When we think about our loved ones and when they transition, no matter how it is, they are always out. They're forever that. They are forever that. Yeah. And it's up to us to keep their legacy and honor them. Yeah. So escaping it, no. I don't even know that we would want to. But how we honor them is what I think is most significant in grief and in that processing. So now you're taking it back.
Yeah, and then that's how this gets to the name. We're 6 months ago, I was approached by an Elvis impersonator named Rob Langford, who lives in Trussville. I met him a couple of years ago, found out that Dwayne was his military commander when he was stationed at Fort Jackson.
Okay.
And he reached out to me. We had been talking about, Dwayne 2 years ago was among 277 Alabamians who are honored in a new memorial that opened in Trussville, in the Trussville Entertainment. It's called the Alabama Fallen Warriors Monument.
Okay.
And it honors 277 victims of the War on Terror. And Dwayne was among the first, I think it's about 5 or 6 Alabamians who died on 9/11. And they are honored there. And there are about 6 to 8 bronze busts there. And I saw that and I said, I want to get one of these bronze busts for Dwayne.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's an amazing way to pay tributes to them. Dwayne is buried at Arlington National Cemetery. My mom has a memorial monument to him in my hometown of Jacksonville. But I wanted to get Dwayne a bronze bust. And I found out it cost $12,000. And I was like, how am I going to pay for that? I got 2 kids in college. So
at the same time,
he approached me about doing this concert. And the proceeds from this concert are going to be helping us start the process of getting Dwayne a bronze bust. And he asked about having it on September 11th. And if I was okay with that. And we both agreed. I said, sure, let's take the day back.
Right.
So we have this Elvis impersonator named Rob Langford and a wonderful Aretha impersonator named Kimberly Harmon. And they're going to be backed up by the award-winning Beale Street Band. And let me tell y'all, I just heard them practice. Let me tell you, it's a bunch of older white people who have soul. I met a saxophone player, a young lady, my dad plays the sax. I met a 70-year-old trombone player, the keyboard, the bass player, the guitar player. They had soul playing some Aretha and Elvis.
Okay.
So those of y'all who come to this concert, and it's a free concert Wednesday, September 11th at 6 o'clock in the Trustful Entertainment District, are going to be entertained as we celebrate Dwayne's life instead of how he died.
I love it.
We're taking the day back.
So Wednesday, September 11th, if you're looking to honor those whose lives were stolen, they were stolen, those who were taken away in September 11th. 2,700 people.
2,700 people died. Most were in the World Trade Center towers. There were 184, I think, who died in the Pentagon.
And Dwayne, and Dwayne was one of those. So just to hear more about him, to learn more about Dwayne, to learn more about who he is, who he was, and how he served. Go ahead. Are you going to speak, Roy?
I am going to be starting it off, introducing, welcoming people and telling them thank you for coming. And we will have a screen up there. We'll have a seeds. We're going to start the process of getting a bronze bust to my brother. Our hope is that we will be able to raise enough money to get this bronze bust unveiled on Memorial Day of 2025. Awesome. And we will have up there how people, we will be taking up donations. And if we go beyond the $12,000 for the bus, we're going to be giving money to the Jacksonville State University Army Major Dwayne Williams ROTC Memorial Scholarship that my mother set up.
We're going to share this flyer and the QR code on our website, myv949.com, so that you all can see the information and you can donate. $12,000 is the goal, but of course more can be donated. So for a bronze bust to go where?
In the Alabama Fallen Warriors Monument, which is just off U.S. Highway 11 in Trustville.
Yes. So everybody, now you got you something to do on Wednesday, September 11th, 6 p.m., Trustful Entertainment District, 119 Beach Street. And you can find this on our website. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Love to you and your family. I saw you talking about your mom and that, like all of that. So just seeing you talk about it and talk about her, I want to keep up with this. I want to see how this.
And see, the beauty of this is my mother, unfortunately, is 82. She has Alzheimer's. She can't walk, so she's in a nursing home. I had an incredible videographer. His name is Martez Nall of Bold Line Studios. He's going to record this so that I will be able to show my mother this concert honoring my brother.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is an awesome effort. We are taking the day back and supporting Roy and the Williams family in honor of his brother, Dwayne Williams. All right. So, got you something to do. School is in, all right?
School is in.
School is in. I remember where I was sitting, whose class I was in. One of my friends to this day, Mr. Paul Humes. I was in 11th grade sitting in his classroom, and I don't know what we thought was happening. I don't know what we thought. I can't even remember what we were thinking that was. But I remember that. And so I know, like, now our children and the students that you teach probably have no idea. Well, you teach them, so I know they know.
Yeah, they hear it, but they don't really feel that one.
Okay. How old were you when it happened?
I was actually, it was I don't know about the math part, because, I do good in math. No, seriously.
I don't remember.
I was a junior at Miles. Yeah, I was actually en route to class. No. When the plane hit the first tower, I was at home watching the news. By the time I got to class, the second tower hit, and second plane hit the tower. And when we got to school, it was so somber. I can remember it like it was yesterday. As a matter of fact, we touched down. Class was out for the day. Everybody kind of went to chapel that day at Miles, and we prayed for the loss of life. Of course, everyone is on their phones and trying to find their little ones.
Figure it out. Yeah.
So, yeah. And I remember my my child's mother, her family was there in New York, and so just the scare, the phones are out, you can't really get through. It was really a day. And so what I would say to you, brother, first of all, this is taking the day back. This is part of your journey of healing, your continued journey of healing. Grief is a lifetime, and don't let anyone tell you that you have to rush through that process. Take it day by day, hour by hour, and just win the day. Yep, just win the day, and God will get you to the other days. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate y'all, and like I said, it's a death that I relive every year. So every time I think I've overcome it, and like I said, my wife knows how I get kind of emotional this time of year. But thank y'all for your support.
Absolutely, and, man. I appreciate you got that Cash App, or how are we giving?
It's like it is a QR code that's on the that is on the flyer, and we're going to have it there at the event, and we'll also be taking cash too there. But the goal is to get this bronze bust. And
well, before you leave, I'm in revival that night. Before you leave, I want to make sure that I contribute to your effort. So please share that with me before you do.
And it doesn't matter if it's $1, you know, or $100 or $200 or more, you know, every little bit helps. So thank y'all so much.
Indeed. Okay. Look, Alvin Garrett is in studio as well. Alvin, you can jump in on this conversation. How are you today?
Hey.
Welcome in. Look, man, we work fast. We work really fast. I know you are very much capable of jumping in where you are. Where were you September 11th?
I think I was.
You remember that?
I can't remember. I was at work or school. What year? Give me the
2001.
23. I was at work. That's okay. What it was. I was at work, and so it was just one of those things where I was working at Vulcan Chemicals, and you just started hearing people come around like, "Is this real?" Like,
right.
Yeah.
And then they start turning on the TV. So it took you a minute to realize this is actually happening. Yeah. So it was just, it was surreal, to sit and watch it.
And just like thinking about it, it's still surreal. But like when you hear people's personal stories, when you hear personal stories, that makes situations real. Like somebody has to really live with what other people do.
Yeah.
Like really, we have to live with it, and we have to live with it forever. Yeah. What other people do, and no better time to bring you into this conversation than now, because when you talk about us living in what other people do, there are also resources. There are also resources. Yep. So before we go to exactly why you're here, you all know that another high school shooting happened on Wednesday.
Right.
So 4 people were killed at Appalachian High School Wednesday in Georgia. 2 students and 2 teachers. A 14-year-old committed this crime. Hatten, you teach high school.
I teach high school.
Like you see some 14-year-olds.
I see a whole bunch of 14-year-olds.
What? You talk about things not seeming real.
Right.
So I know when I was 14, I was really just like happy. We had the normal teenage emotions and, oh, my parents hate me, I'm a burden. You might think those things for a minute, but the way that children think about things now is way further than that. And the way they feel about things, and then the way they react to things is way different than how we did. So when you hear breaking news, school shooting, and then after you find out that it was a 14-year-old who had also made threats before. Yeah, so tell me about that. You're in the classroom with 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17 and 18-year-old students, and on a high school campus every day, teaching and expecting life to be great and memories to be made. What does this say to you and to the staff and the faculty at schools teaching our children? We're like,
man, it says a lot. It's touching, it's real, and it makes you think about every day you go into school, and really you think about the safety of the kids, but then you think about, do you get to go home?
Yeah.
Right. So really quick, my prayers and thoughts are with the families that are affected, 2 teachers, right? 2 students. And now we know that a 9th grader is responsible for that. And so when I think about 9th graders, right, this is supposed to be fun times, right? This is your transitional year, but here, this 14-year-old has a history, right? I started immediately thinking about safety in the school and what more we can do to just be even more safe. Just giving backdrop, really. There, just this year alone, 49 people have been injured or killed in school shootings in 2024. Right. So it kind of leads to a bigger issue that nobody really wants to talk about. But it's time now that this has to stop. Right. So when will be the last time? That's my thoughts. Like, we keep saying it, we keep kicking the can down the road, but when is safety going to become a priority for our babies? You know, this school didn't even have metal detectors.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
But they had a school resource office. And so I just think about here, even our own situation, you got to take every precautionary measure to keep our kids safe. They are our future. And so it's touching. And you just go home and you hug your family and you love on your family. You got kids, you love on them even harder that day. Because if they're seeing it, believe me, they're thinking as well. We even have a conversation about it during class, and they were hipping me to just the safety, right? Just the safety. Like, do you feel safe at school? Like, the place that I send my baby for 8 hours, 7 hours a day, expecting them to come home. Well, there are two mamas and two dads that don't get that opportunity.
Right.
And so it's sad.
And students who just been traumatized just forever. Like, I'm just in the space. I hear gunshots. I hear screaming. I see people run. And then I find out that, I mean, you think about the people that experience this secondhand, like, I just cannot wrap my mind around that. But my mind immediately went to Ramsey High School. Like, it went to where my child, like, you know, mothers and fathers, our children are our heartbeats outside of our bodies. Yeah. That's what they are. So when you hear things like that, your mind immediately goes to where your children are. And then when other people hear things about shootings at workplaces, their minds immediately go to where we are. So that's just kind of how you think about things. It is insanity for us to continue to have to report stories like that on a daily basis. And then you think about locally. You can be driving down the street and be shot by a bullet that is not even for you. Like, I don't know that people really think about things like that on a daily basis. So y'all think about that on a daily basis?
I've become even more observant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to.
Dude just got, they're on the lookout for somebody now that shot on the freeway in Kentucky. Yeah. Like, this long stretch of freeway and you just going crazy. You got an AR.
5 people injured.
Yeah. Because you feeling, okay. Yeah, I want to have a real conversation. Okay, Alvin.
What's up, Woo?
Okay. So, I mean, because I want to have a real conversation. It's so much. Like, it's so much. I want to get on the plane and leave today. If I could go somewhere right now, I would. I'm going to leave in a minute. I would leave now because I have to go somewhere once a month because of the work being so heavy. Get me out of here. What the hell? This is crazy. So if you don't hear it in that way, you don't hear it in a national way, you hear it in a local way. And you hear where in a neighborhood, they beefing with another neighborhood. And so you hear the switchboard. I mean, you hear these things and then you know these people. And it's like, okay, so what can I do? What role can I play in trying to make this better? So you've been in a role to help orchestrate making things better.
Yes.
Talk to us about what that looks like.
Well, man, I am, first of all, honored to be here and, you know, to just kind of come in and listen to these brilliant men speak about, you know, their journeys and the emotions we need to talk about, especially from men.
Yeah.
That vulnerability of thinking about our children, their safety, loss, you know, that is so important. So I want to, you know, tell you guys thanks for that, you know, just coming in. But I've, over the past couple of years, been on my own, personal journey with the Dannon Project.
Okay.
Using, you know, my likeness, my music, to help lift people, you know, with the program called The Right Life. Mm-hmm. And it's a songwriting therapy program. I don't claim to be a therapist. I'm a preacher's kid, so that's about as close as I can get.
That's bad.
But this program that I developed, which was really built off of my production style, just bringing the best out of other artists, and even with my own writing career, I was led to really develop this program that gets people to just talk. If I can get you to talk, I can write a song about it.
Yeah.
And so in the construct of the Dannon Project, where you're dealing with people who have been traumatized, like they may hear bullets flying everywhere. Mm-hmm. You know, young men that have been raped at some point in their life and they can't tell you because they're still trying to find what is a masculine identity after that experience. You know what I mean?
Right.
That type of person who needs to feel love, not just from an organization, but from a human. Right. And so with this program at the Dannon Project, it opens up that conversation and you hear people talking about their trauma.
Wow.
And music is a way to express themselves, but in expressing themselves, they're glorifying their trauma. They're glorifying the retribution for their trauma. And that's what the Right Life does. It says, no. We're going to face our trauma a different way.
Wow.
I can't kill you and get over my own pain.
Yeah.
I can't hurt the women and expect to have a healthy family. So you can't do that in my class. You can rap, but you can't kill. You can't shoot anybody. You can't B's and H's and N words.
Yeah.
Now let me see if you can still rap.
Yeah, somebody told me the other day.
Wow.
Somebody told me the other day. I was getting ready to start my group, and somebody was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come with you because I can't cuss in there with you." I was like,
you can't cuss over here.
Come on with me.
It's a challenge. It's the Right Life challenge because
Yeah.
what I'm actually teaching is I'm teaching you to write your life,
I hear.
to live with purpose and to live on purpose.
Oh.
The same way you would write a song. And so one of the things that we do is I turn on a beat and I allow them to freestyle because what's in you is going to come out. And I let them have at it. And the things that come out is what they feel they've seen and absorbed through life. And I said, okay, you're instinctive. I said, so when something happens to you, first thing you do is respond and react to what's in you. I said, now, when I take that away, and you can't use that as an option, I took your gun away. Now let's hear the same story with no cussing, no killing, and they slow down. They can't do it sometimes because they haven't thought about what else needs to be. I said, but that's exactly where I want you. So now you got to write. Now you have to think about other things that you can put in place of what can I add forgiveness where I would add revenge. So now you start to process these things because actually I really want to get on that mic.
Yeah.
And Mr. Garrett ain't gonna let me get on that mic if I cuss. Same way you can't get on that field if you got a D average. So by creating this sort of high level engagement with the music program that says I can change my standards. You know what? I can't rap without cussing. Oh, you can? Let's see. I can't write a song about my pain. I didn't cuss, Mr. Garrett. I didn't cuss. But what's really happening also is we're reinforcing the whole purpose of the Dannon Project, which is to assess and address your issues.
Yeah.
Right.
Not just talk about them, but come up with a solution for them.
And that's the core. The core of change is, in my opinion, exposure. Like a lot of
Correct.
people don't know that is even possible until they've been exposed to other people, other ways of life, other ways of thinking, other environments. So, you have these different programs. Right Life is one of the, I guess we would consider it an elective. If you looked at the Dannon Project, like school, it's one of the main electives. How do I know this? Well, I'm there. I'm in the building as well. So the core work is facilitating those conversations that help you identify your traumas, your issues, and how did they happen? Why did they happen? Well, I ain't never talked to nobody about that. I can't believe I just told you that. Well, that's what I'm here for. So it's that type of thing that a lot of our young people do not have on a regular basis. A lot of people, period, don't have that on a regular basis.
Right.
So somebody hears just that part alone because everybody want to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Until a certain point. Everybody wants to be a producer until a certain point, right? But if they haven't been exposed to either, they may want to be a host. They may want to be a personality, an entertainer. If they have not been exposed, what happens?
Well, you just don't know. You only go off of what you see, which is limited, right? But one of the things I want to point out about this program is that it is very inclusive because it's not just about the rappers, the beat makers, is about the talkers, right? And what I explained to them all when they start the class is that a song itself is composed of 3 parts, the lyrics, the melody, and the music, right? So I talk them through it so that the person who can't sing, you have a voice. So the song itself may actually come from the person that has no part in recording, and they may be the most valuable player in the room. And I said, this is how communities are built, where we all have to know the part that we play. Cannot undermine or take away the value that my my neighbor has. Their voice matters. And so it's a very inclusive program, even for people who can't sing or rap. They're really, honestly, the most valuable,
right?
Because it's your thoughts that count.
Wow.
And that's how you get that engagement. And it becomes more than just about the music, but about building relationships. And what is most beautiful is that they start to hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
They start to hold each other accountable. I can just step back sometimes. They're like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. And I'm like, that's the goal, is where they get it, hold each other accountable and say, hey, this can transcend just song. This is my life we're talking about. And you start seeing those relationships that are built. And it is marvelous that these young people are not only being able to experience this kind of healing through Woo's class with behavioral health, through my class, but the training that they get for an actual career.
And that's actual career. That's the ultimate goal. Change lives, but a career. Which we know also changes lives. Right. So like it's the full holistic approach to helping and changing young people. And I know that there are some opportunities for more people to join us, right?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Like right now we got what we're calling the 30 for 30, 30 by 30. By September 30th, we want to recruit 30 just dedicated, hungry young people between the age of 18 and 24 years old who may have been impacted by the criminal justice system, or maybe the child of a person who is impacted by the criminal justice system, even if they haven't been in trouble themselves, even if you're just son or daughter of someone who's been incarcerated. This is for you. It's called Growth Opportunities. And so the Right Life is a part of that growth opportunities. Of course, the chance to, talk with Woo and do everything that she's doing, become a welder, become, an electrical technician, all of these things, these actual honorable trades that raise the floor.
Yeah, I kind of want to get involved. I kind of want to learn to weld and do some
construction
for real.
All kind of.
What's the cutoff again?
Right, because
Allied Health, nursing, certified nursing assistant, certified medical assistant, EKG. So, Dannon Project, a lot of people don't know this, but the Dannon Project is licensed by the Alabama Department of Post-Secondary.
Absolutely.
It's a school. It's an accredited school that basically is tailored for the at-risk population. So
I had a question.
Yes, sir.
I love the title because when you first said The Right Life, I was thinking RIGHT, but it's WRITE.
WRITE.
I like that.
Yes, the right life.
Explain that.
It's a songwriting class because I'm a songwriter by trade, Grammy-nominated songwriter. Yeah. So as a songwriter, using the methodology of writing songs to emulate, how do I make a plan for my life? So the same way you plan to write a song is how you plan to write your life.
I love that.
You're in control. You're in control. And that's what we do at the Dannon Project. We give you options. We assess all your barriers. But here's the plan to address them.
Yeah.
You lose all of your excuses. You lose all of your excuses when there are people who are willing to engage you with solutions. At that point, if you fail, you chose failure.
Right.
You succeed, you chose success. And so that's what's so beautiful about the whole process is it's a systemic solution for a systemic problem.
I love it.
And that's not easy to find. So when people engage and say that, hey, wait a minute, these employers will consider me because I came through you. Wow. Right? The judge may reduce my charges because I showed them that I'm willing to be a tax-paying citizen as opposed to a criminal. They'll let me go. When they experience that kind of buy-in, you see lives change.
Right.
You see lives change. And so we really want the community to know if you have a son, daughter, cousin, nephew, granddaughter, grandson, send them to the Dannon Project, dannonproject.org to just apply. Call 205-202-4072. I'm there, Woo's there, giving back to the community with our gifts.
Wow. Amazing. A little history about the Dannon Project I'm familiar with. I do know JJ very well. Met him in college when I was at Jacksonville State.
Oh, Jack State.
Wow. And I remember.
Hey, you from Jacksonville? Look at that.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. We definitely. I'm gonna do it on there. But
my mother was probably
she worked at the school.
Okay.
She was still
there. Look at that.
So I was actually. Yeah, we'll talk after that. But so the backdrop to that story, man, I'm very familiar with. Very good friend of mine. Back from school, their family, and so how JJ's family got caught up in that situation and the birth of that movement out of his pain.
Yeah.
Right. We talked about that grief turning into pain and purpose.
Connected when we found out.
And so the name of the project comes from his name. Right. And so Carrie has done an amazing job with this. She is fearless. She's a fearless advocate. And so this is major because right now, that's one of the things that changes communities.
Right.
We're talking about this gun violence. We're talking about homicides being up. This is one of the areas that I really want to tackle in the next couple of years here, because we know that people with jobs, really, they start families mostly.
Yes.
And when you start families, your priorities change. So when you talk about transformation, right, you're talking about community transformation as well. Yes. You're talking about the house, the home, the family, the church. Everything is impacted by one, right? Because the church is started by one. The school is started by one. So, man, however I can help you connect with some people to meet your goal, 30 by the 30th.
We call it 30 by 30 by September 30. We want to get them in.
Do it. Kudos. And just the whole transformational piece. Man, this is ministry. This is Jesus in the streets, man. And I love it.
It is.
So keep doing your work, brother.
You know, them pastors' children very well. Yeah. Look at like the core to change, and just think about mental health and mental and behavioral awareness. It like when I do my orientation group, I ask them, so when I say mental health, what comes to mind? First thing that comes to mind. They be like crazy, pills, bipolar. Like this is what I'm like. Yeah. Cool. But I said, what about everything? Like every single piece of your being is guided by mental and behavioral health. It's your mental. I ain't never thought about it like that. I said, the way you're moving in your seat, when you blink your eyes, when you go get something to drink, what makes you move, what you look like. Everything about you is guided by your mental health. So why shouldn't it be healthy? Why don't you take care of it? And so then the journey starts. Yeah. What's your story? Oh, okay, cool. So then we talk about what's your story from a therapeutic standpoint. Then you can go make music about it if you opt to. Right. If you choose not to make music about it, we're going to make a movie about it in behavioral health.
That's right.
So it's a full circle of just greatness at the Dannon Project. Then there are things that are not even, there are related because everything is mental health. But there are other classes as well. Restorative justice. Anger management, conflict resolution, pathways out of poverty. Pathways out of poverty.
Yeah.
Big.
What else, Alvin? FDIC.
Yeah.
I ain't learned that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't even learn this.
Well, let me tell you, you just made me think about one of the most powerful things one of our students, she was just talking. She's like, I'm so grateful that I don't have a poverty mindset anymore. I have a middle class mindset.
Middle class.
Middle class mindset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's who you are.
I got chills when she said I have a middle class mindset.
Yeah.
So that's a balanced, healthy approach to saying I'm not getting rich overnight.
Okay.
These people have taught me to let go of a poverty mindset and work my way up from the bottom.
Yeah.
That it's okay to take baby steps and say, I got a middle class mindset to where the bottom ain't so low. It's okay to make an honest living. I ain't got to take what's yours. I can go out here and earn mine, save. That's beautiful.
Man, what?
For a young person to say, I have a middle class mindset.
I'm middle class. Because every opportunity I get, I'm going to tell them I'm from Ansley. I just, like, I'm going to tell them trap stores. I'm going to tell them the preacher. I'm going to tell them all of that. I'm going to give them the authentic version of who I am so they can relate. Like, I don't like to hear people not relatable, minimizing our young people and giving them more negativity. Give them positivity by telling your truth. I'm going to tell my truth every time, unadulterated. And yes, they can cuss in group. Okay. So.
They can't cuss in Mark.
Sorry. They can't cuss in your group.
Not in Mr. Garrett, but in Miss Wu, because you got to be you. I want you to be you. So I'm going to get you ready to go there so you can practice those skills of being appropriate for the setting, whichever the setting may be.
That's right.
So it's a process. So come get the process. How can I do that again?
DannonProject.org to apply. Or call 205-202-4072. And just let them know you want to apply. 18 to 24.
Okay.
There's a lot of, it's for this particular program is for that age bracket. Like I said, I want to make sure that people know, even if you have not yourself been in trouble with the law and had a parent who was, or an incarcerated parent, this is for you as well. And so don't just think you have to have be coming out of jail. And that's the beautiful thing about the growth over these 20 plus years. It is not just a reentry program.
Yeah.
It's not just that. It includes that. That's the foundation.
Yeah.
But it's so much broader. So you may not even think you qualify, but just apply and somebody will get back with you. And Woo, I really wish we could play one of them songs that they have recorded.
Check your text, because I think I'm going to have to drop one of yours. Unless you want to hold your...
What?
Yeah.
So, drop one of mine.
Drop one of yours. Because I was looking.
Songs?
I was looking because you know the one that everybody always wants to hear.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really? One of my songs?
Yes.
Which one?
I got to spill the beans. We over here
What?
like, what?
You talking about By Myself? It's not that one. Now, which one did everybody want to hear?
Not that one? That's what you don't think that one?
I'm trying to see which one you think.
It's definitely that one. Always. Ah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
One thing, Jacksonville play football against the boys. Jacksonville State. Jackson State. Sing it now.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Yo.
E flat, baby. E flat.
Yo.
Walk it down.
Ooh. So that was yours. We're going to play one from the Right Life Project toward the end of the show. Got to get it pulled up and get all that situated. That just always does it right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just always.
Man, since we on the topic of, like you say, one of the reasons why I'm here, when I go into orientation, and because I always want them to know who I am, but I tell them that's my Clark Kent role. My Superman role is the role I play at the Dannon Project to help you reach your goals. And I asked them, what's the most important word in that song? And nobody ever gets it, but I say the word is if. If you won't stand,
all right, Rudyard Kipling.
If you won't go with me, which
okay,
it's a if. If is the condition in that song where I'm saying we are actually better together. I actually do need help. If you won't help me, I'm not going to stop. But man, my goodness, what if you did? what if there was a Dannon project in my life to help me face my trials? And that's what I tell them. Your if is going to be different because you're here. You don't have to go by yourself. There are people here who are willing to help you. There are people in the community willing to help you. So you don't have to actually go on by yourself. And so I love playing that song for them to ask that question, to let them know that together we are better, but don't stop. Even if people turn their backs on you, don't stop.
All right. 202-4072 or the DannonProject.org online, 18 to 24 until the 30th of September.
That's right. That's right.
Apply, and find out if you qualify. And hopefully you can join in on some of this greatness and then be a part of the change that's happening in the world. Like not just, you don't have to just stand by and wish and hope and wait and pray. Like actually be a part of what's happening. And there are other opportunities that come around. We did a voter registration opportunity. It wasn't a drive, but it was an opportunity for our young people in the building to get something that most of us don't have. Most people do not have a hard copy voter ID card. Our participants. And then she said that we had more people than any other site that she's had, because when they go other places, people don't qualify for the ID. So they were actually able to make something great happen with that. And that's how I was pushing it. So, sometimes in order to encourage others, you have to give them the part that they need to hear. Do you have an ID? No, I got to get one. Boom. Go over there and get one. You're going to get a hard copy and that will be your ID. Yeah. But then guess what you can do with it? Go and vote. So it's all types of things happening. I mean, we even have Bible talk in behavioral health class because you're wondering about I ask a question oftentimes, do you feel that we had a fair shot at life? And they're like, yeah, until we start talking. Nah. But then maybe, yeah. So then somebody asked me before, well, why would God do that? I said, Let me call my dad.
Bridge.
But it's that depth of thinking and conversation once you're exposed to it, and once those questions are okay, once those conversations are okay, and those questions and conversations are safe, and they are safe with us at the Dannon Project. 202-4072. All right. Okay. So before we get out of here, there is a debate happening on the 10th. Look, on the 10th, I'm not asking anyone to say anything about who they're voting for if you don't choose to, but I do want to talk about just some of the energy behind it. Former President Jimmy Carter is engaging again. Y'all know Jimmy Carter has been on hospice for 18 months, like non-responsive. He done responded. Jimmy Carter said, I'm excited. He's saying a few words. He was not even saying words. So that tells you that hope is in the air, Jonathan. I'm feeling excited. Okay, I am too. I'm feeling it a little bit too. But this excitement came since he saw he's current president, soon to be former president, Joe Biden resigning or whatever. Yeah, that. He saw him doing that, and his 2 words then were, that's sad. He hasn't spoken since then until he just said the other day, this is exciting. Wow. He'll be 100 October 1st, y'all. I'm praying that he gets to see our presidential candidate elected and gets to see something different. So that happened, but then that just led me to start talking about what's going to happen with this debate. There are some rules. Do y'all think Donald Trump is going to follow the rules? No.
Nah. It ain't in him. He can't.
He followed him the first time because it was to his advantage.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was muted.
But he followed the rules because it was to his advantage.
So look, to his advantage.
I'm interested to see if he's going
to
break him this time.
He's going to do what he does. He's going to do as he does. So this debate is being hosted by ABC. Right. These are the rules. They have 90 minutes with 2 breaks. Okay, 90 minutes with 2 breaks, 2-minute answers, 2-minute rebuttals with 1 additional for follow-up and clarification. That's too long. I don't want to hear you talk for 2 minutes. Anywho, no audience. Mics will be live only for the candidate who is speaking, and then muted otherwise. Only the moderators will ask questions, and then there will be no opening statements. We don't need you to come here talking about who you are, what you've done, blah, blah, blah. I'm asking the questions. You're answering. You got 2 minutes. Okay? You can't ask her nothing. You can't ask him nothing. Okay. No props or pre-written notes, and you will be provided a pen, a paper, and a bottle of water. And you stand here and you answer these questions and you talk to us. And that's it. Trump did win the coin toss. It was a virtual coin toss to determine that he will offer the the last closing statement. So he has the last words. All right. And he has 2 minutes to give those. That's a long time after somebody else made it eloquently beautiful. He got to come look it up. Okay. So what do y'all think? What are you looking forward to with the debate before we get out of here? Yeah, y'all gonna watch it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're gonna be taking notes. I mean, so are we looking at this as entertainment because we already are confident in the Harris-Walz team, or what? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? Why y'all looking at each other?
I was trying to get a guess a little time.
Oh, you won't mind.
Well, I'm excited to see intelligence on display.
Yeah.
You know, like what an informed and intelligent person looks like versus an improviser, right? And that should mean something. But I'm looking forward to see how she does as an intellectual and prepared mind versus improvisational mind. They can just wing it, and see which one wins.
Yeah, not just throwing shots and minimizing.
That's really what you're up against.
Plus, she is a former prosecutor, so she will not get rattled like Biden was.
Right.
But Biden wasn't rattled. He just couldn't get it out.
He couldn't. He couldn't process all those lies fast enough.
No, he couldn't.
No.
And so, I'm with you. It's good to see the dignity of the office, possibility to be restored. But
yes,
I think we're going to get a high volume of policy. I'm looking to hear more in substance from her for this reason. It hasn't been a long campaign. So I need to see how she's going to be able to translate in the language that needs to be translated over to young voters, right? To unlikely voters. And I'm looking to see her economic policy because truth is, many people don't understand that, but Barack and Biden both had to come into a problem to solve, where he walked into the problem being solved. So I want to see if she's able to put him on the defense a little bit about some of that. But I'm ready, man. I'll be taking my notes. Got my DVR set, and I'll be ready. Yeah.
So I am looking forward to all that you all said as well. I'm ready. Like, I don't like people to be around me when I watch debates and speeches and stuff because of how crazy I get. Like, I'm like, and I'm taking notes, and it is a feat. But I want to be in the midst with other people that I can like high five and run around the room with, because I feel like it's gonna be that type of energy. Oh, gosh, she ate him up, like that type of thing. That's the energy that I already have for this. I want to hear about inflation. I want to hear about the response to COVID. I think all of that's coming up because COVID is ramping back up. I do want to hear about that. I want to hear about allegations. I want to hear about his criminal background and how she sees it and how he sees it. I want to hear about January 6th. I want to hear about bloodshed if he doesn't win this time, because he did say it. I want to hear about those things. I want to hear about the border from her and also from him. I want to hear about a lot of things. So y'all, I may go live so y'all can see my reaction.
Well, let's do it.
It gets crazy. Cause what? Trump, boy, stop. Okay. So that's happening this week. What else? What else are we looking forward to this week?
Well, it's Hensley week.
We back on that? Okay, Hensley week. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that the whole world is waiting on this week? I know college football started back. I hadn't really kept up. I started watching a little bit of Colorado because I like to see Coach Prime.
Yeah.
That was cool. I watched it for a few minutes. Yeah, that's all I know. Alabama State beat Miles. Both of those are my schools. I went to both, but my heart is at State, and we turned up. That's about all I got.
That's about all.
I'm ready to get out of here.
What else? Get out of here.
Jeez.
You dropping that song? Did you get it?
No, I did not. I just texted you.
You didn't get it?
I just texted you. Which address did you send it to?
And I got to go, but thank y'all for helping me get word out about my concert, Take the Day Back. I hope to see y'all Wednesday, September 11th, 6 to 8 o'clock to hear some Aretha and Elvis. And I can tell you, the Beale Street Band, their practice today was amazing. You're going to really enjoy it.
Indeed, and we'll be sending you love, especially on the 11th, as you take the day back. Alvin, if we can't get it tonight, I'm on every day. Don't be saying my email address. Okay, my bad. It's all good.
Erase that.
It's okay. It's all good. I'm on every day, 12 to 3, right here on B94.9 WATV every single day. You can catch it in the free lunch flashback. Well, no, you won't catch it then, but anytime we will do that. And then I want to get you in during the week so that our listeners who are up all day, every day, and those who know to tune in to certain times will tune in and learn about the Dannon Project. So we'll be sure to get it all set up by then.
That's right.
All right. Just in case you didn't get the number 202-4072 to get your young people signed up for the Dannon Project. And then just in case you didn't get the information for Take the Day Back, it's going to be Wednesday, September 11th at 6 p.m. at the Trustful Entertainment District, 119 Beach Street in Trustful. Y'all have a blessed night. Be safe and be vital.
Be vital.